Hello, folks. Salam namaste. It's good to be back. And it is the time for festivities and cheer. There's a chill in the air, and the Christmas spirit is everywhere, isn't it? आपको कैसा लगता है? साल का अंत होने वाला है इस साल का और एक नया साल की शुरुआत. आपके मन में क्या क्या चल रहा है? आइए इस एपिसोड में हम लोग एक साथ एंजॉय कर लेते हैं इस शाम को. Today we are into the 9th episode of season 2 of Mann Darpan, and our title today is Kismat Connections. You know, in life we need that little stroke of love, luck, life, and so much more that helps us take it one day at a time. Today we'll talk about all of these in our episode and wonderful people to go with these conversations. But थोड़ा सा सावधान, थोड़ा सा सतर्क रहने का वक्त भी आ गया है. You know, it is masking time again, and the cases have increased, numbers have increased in and around Mumbai, and therefore सबके ऊपर ये जिम्मेदारी आता है कि हम अपना मास्क बनाए रखें. COVID appropriate behavior, and like we say, don't panic. टेंशन, तकलीफ, तनाव को बढ़ाइए नहीं, खुद डरना नहीं और दूसरों को डराइए नहीं. बस it is important that we stay responsible in our behaviors, revisiting those simple things of the sanitizer, distancing, and masking, because we know it is better to be safe than sorry. आपका booster shot हुआ है कि नहीं? Please double check, because that is something that's going to help us stay continuously immune prone, so that we can take no risks for this next wave that is here. Get your good levels of sleep and good diet. Home cooked food और अच्छा खासा नींद, ये भी हमारा immunity को बढ़ा देता है. So make sure you get your fair share of it. Well, Wellsprings was happy to have recently done few more of our school mental health sessions. We had specific sessions for standard 10 and standard 12. ये 10वीं और 12वीं के जो बच्चे हैं, यहाँ पे उनको थोड़ा सा एग्जाम्स के पास आते ही डर भी बढ़ सकता है, और किस तरीके से उनको अपने हुनर का प्रदर्शन करना है to score well at these exams. This is what we help them with in our mental health motivational sessions for standard 10 and standard 12. हम लोग पेरेंट्स से भी बातें करते हैं, क्योंकि इस तैयारी जीत की इसमें तो पेरेंट्स का भी बड़ा योगदान होता है. So remember, schools, colleges, we have our modules set for standard 10 and standard 12 as they come closer to their prelims and their final exams, their board exams, to help them better with their motivation. And then this is Inspirations 23, the program that is dearest to our heart, our annual best every year that we have, where we bring forth the calendar, our mental health calendar. और देखते देखते 12 साल बीत चुका है. We are India's first mental health tabletop calendar, the initiative that was done to spread awareness of mental health and to take away shame and stigma. And this year, we brought in the calendar for Inspirations 23 on 17th of December at KC Gandhi Hall. We had a wonderful time, pura 500 log in our midst, with over 150 participants on stage. As you see the slides go forward, we had a wonderful time with our guests of honor, Dr. Manu Menon and Dr. Vishwanath Iyer. And through their wonderful words of advice and bits of mental health, which was important, our anchors, Mugda and Balchandra Ghate and Michelle, they brought in the essence of mental health in every program that we had. Santa Claus was also around, and you can see as many gifts that were there, lots of gift giving, the lucky draw, guessing the weight of the cake, the number of chocolates, lots of fun, because fun is important for the mind and it helps us to stay mentally balanced as well. A beautiful array of dances and in different colors from different parts of India that was presented on stage, and not forgetting the importance of the Christmas story. 2000 years ago, the story that started is still relevant in our lives today, and that was beautifully put forward by the little children from different schools coming together. Inspirations continues to inspire people. क्या आपको आपकी कहानी मानसिक तकलीफ और तनाव को दांत देते हुए आगे बढ़ते हुए ये कहानी आपके चेहरे के साथ हमारा कैलेंडर में आ सकता है. We are putting in the final pages of the calendar together as we bring it open for next year in the first week of Jan. If you want to share your photograph, your story, and a few lines on mental health to be included in our calendar, please feel free to get in touch with us on our WhatsApp number 908-209-3848. And we will be more than happy to have you as part of our calendar. Big congratulations to Vipasi. Vipasi, we are very proud of you because she has won the International Grand Championship Award for the abacus and the brain visual exams that were there. And Manoj and Mithila, the proud parents, and grandmother Varsha Kaku, who have always supported our mental health programs. And this has been part of their endeavor also to keep their child growing in different dimensions of their personality and productivity of the mind. So congratulations to Vipasi. And with that brief, we come now to our main guests of this evening. Two wonderful people who've had their good share of love, luck, and life that has helped them reach where they are. So let us say hello to two of our guests. That's JAYSHREE PANSARE, teacher, and SAVIO Mascarenas. JAYSHREE PANSARE, teacher, is the teacher at St. Lawrence International School, Thane, with many years of experience there, project coordinator and mental health activist as well. And with us also is SAVIO Mascarenas. He is the group art director for Amar Chitra Katha and TEDx speaker, a very vibrant personality and doing a lot of good work. So we are happy to have these guests in our midst. Welcome aboard, both of you all.
I think.
Yes. So we will start by going on one to one with JAYSHREE, teacher, so we can have her unmuted and let's speak to you, JAYSHREE ma'am. Well, आप तो थे हमारे inspirations के program में, so that evening we were happy and lucky to have you. Can you give us a brief experience of what you felt at that evening of inspirations?
Yes, doctor. Good evening to everyone. Actually, Inspirations 23, it was really amazing and it was a wonderful experience. And it was excellent teamwork by the guidance of Dr. Fabian Almeida. We really learned through this program coordination, stress management, many things like that, like positivity, positive vibrations, teamwork, then motivation, inspirations, and all. And it was really very good and we liked it very much.
थैंक यू जयश्री टीचर. व्हाट यू सेड इज ट्रू. इस प्रोग्राम को सामने लाने के लिए बहुत सारा टीम वर्क की जरूरत होती है एंड दैट एक्सपीरियंस इज समथिंग दैट वी फील very strongly about. 500 people in the audience, 150 participants on stage, and that coordination, yes, it is also the support of our well-wishers and our patrons. And एक बहुत खूबसूरत हिंदी नाटक भी था इन सब कार्यक्रमों के बीच में जो पेरेंट और चाइल्ड के रिश्ते के बारे में जिक्र करता था एंड दैट वाज अ लेसन फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस टू लर्न. सो थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग देयर दैट इवनिंग. आप तो टीचर है एंड बड़े कमाल के टीचर है. सो लुकिंग बैक, व्हेन डिड यू ड्रीम एंड डिजायर टू बिकम अ टीचर?
Yes, doctor. Actually, in my school age and the college, professors and the teachers, they were very excellent. I used to observe them, their way of talking, their expressing, explaining. So I always was impressed by their simplicity. Taken along with the situations, I used to just talk with myself or to my parents as if I'm explaining some topic or concept. Slowly and steadily, that habit of observing my teachers and then imitating them, and it just came into my practice as a passion and desire to become a teacher. Then I understood teacher can mold many lives, many things. It's the need of the hour also of today. So then after completing my BSc, I got the admission in the government college, secondary training college on a merit basis for BEd.
Okay. सो ये बचपन में ही नींव कितना ज़रूरी है कि हम समझ पाए, अपने फ्यूचर के बारे में सोचे, अपने वातावरण से हम लोग इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाए, मम्मी डैडी की जो हमारे ऊपर वो प्रेरणा हमको मिलता है, our friends, our teachers, they mold us and they guide us. And I think you also were blessed with the right environment. और बचपन से कुछ लोगों, टीचर टीचर तो खेलते सभी है, एक फेज होता है अपने बचपन का, but few of them go ahead to pursue becoming a teacher and even more becoming a great teacher, which is important. So this is what you have shared with us. Well, you have been appreciated in many ways, Jayashree teacher, as a super mom, sweet mom, stylish teacher awards. ये कितना कुछ आपको मिल चुका है. What were some of the challenges that you faced as a teacher अब जो शिफ्ट हो गया है from online school to offline school, the medium of education?
Yes, doctor. Actually, COVID-19 pandemic, it was the real challenge for all of us. It was the real test of mankind. All of a sudden, the break of COVID made everyone, all of us, to pause to learn so many things. The challenges were many while switching on from offline to online schooling. So Android phone was there, but then what about its application? Certain day-to-day useful applications we were knowing and we were using also. But what about other applications, those we have to use in schooling purpose? Then we learned to conduct classes on Zoom, then also to share the screen, then develop the link, that is to create the link, mute, unmute, so many things, share the videos, make a question paper on Google Form, collecting responses from the Google Form. All these things we learn from this when by switching on from online to offline to online, I need to say. Likewise, many challenges had come, but training was given to all of us, and also with the help of technology teachers, it was made nicely.
यस, सो टेक्नोलॉजी की ज़रूरत हम सबको समझ में आ गया, एंड टीचर्स embraced technology in a very important way. From the shift that happened from offline school to online school, or abhi back from online to offline. And therefore, my dear friends, अब एक टर्म जो हम लोग यूज करते हैं, that is blended education, that we add on what we learned from the COVID and online school, and we add it now to our offline school. तो हम दोनों का फायदा बच्चों तक पहुंचाते हैं, ताकि they use technology also, but no amount of technology can replace the teacher. The teacher's head, heart and hands are so important for a child's development, कि टीचर का बच्चे के इर्द गिर्द रहना, उनका उनके ऊपर प्यार बरसाना, उनको मोटिवेशन देना, प्रेरणा देना, ये सब बहुत जरूरी होता है. So I think you have rightly said, Jayashree teacher, that whether it is offline, online, offline, and we don't know now what is in store for us ahead with COVID cases rising, we know that we have to keep the education of the child going strong. Use technology as well as use our human side to bring out the best in the children. And this year, definitely, it is the teachers who have stood this test and who have done so beautifully well against all odds. You have also excelled in essay and elocution competitions. बहुत सारे awards आपको मिल चुके हैं. तो हमारे ऑडियंस को आप थोड़ा सा इस टैलेंट के बारे में भी जरा बताइए, what you possess.
Yes, doctor. मी निबंध स्पर्धेमध्ये आणि एलोक्युशन स्पर्धा जी असते म्हणजे ऑन द स्पॉट यू विल बी गिव्हिंग 2 minutes फॉर दॅट टॉपिक टू थिंक ओव्हर अँड देन यू हॅव टू स्पीक ऑन इट. So like that उत्स्फूर्त स्पर्धा, we call it उत्स्फूर्त स्पर्धा. I had taken the participation in it, and I also won right from the schooling and in the colleges also. For that, I think my reading of books like motivational books, the spiritual books had helped me a lot. And also understanding by learning the concepts, tracing myself, and observing my teachers, my professors, my parents, my all the elders and house members. All these things helped me. to learn so many things and to go ahead or to excel in all these talents.
Yes. So, elocution is a good hobby and talent that children can learn. और भले वो पार्टिसिपेट करे या नहीं करे, कम्युनिकेशन की जो ज़रूरत है, हम बच्चे को समझाए और उनको सिखाए, तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात होती है. How to put your thoughts across is in an eloquent manner of speech is something that we can teach children in school. So elocution competitions and debates are a healthy form of developing your personality. Well, there is also the essay competitions. और खास टीचर आपने जो जिक्र किया, ये महत्व रखता है. अभी 10वीं और 12वीं के बच्चे जो एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, prelims and their forthcoming board exams, the best way to write a good essay is to be in good knowledge of what's happening around you. We always tell students कि आप newspaper पढ़िए and know what's happening in the world, listen to the news and read newspapers. This is not a waste of time. If you spend at least 15 to 20 minutes for this, you will know what's happening in our world. And that then helps you to express yourself well. A good vocabulary, good language, good presentation skills. ये बातें हमारे एग्जाम गोइंग बच्चों के लिए बहुत फायदा का होने वाला है. We urge you to read the newspapers and listen to the news so that you can express yourself even better in the essays that come forward in your exams. Uh, Teacher, you have also won various awards at different levels with your students for projects involving mental health as well, science and mental health. और मुझे अभी तक याद है कोविड के वक्त में भी हम लोग लेट नाइट तक जूम मीटिंग्स करते थे. आपके बच्चे जो स्टूडेंट्स पार्टिसिपेट करते थे, वी यूज्ड टू लिसन टू देयर स्क्रिप्ट, वी यूज्ड टू सी व्हाट कुड बी इन्वॉल्व्ड. एंड आपने बहुत सारा मेहनत एंड आई थिंक यू वर वेरी curious to put in the best of mental health in your projects of science to take it to the schools and to take it to the various competitions. और इसका फायदा भी हुआ आप लोग ने awards भी जीते हैं. What do you think this mental health development of students in school, how important is it in your eyes as a teacher?
Yes, doctor. Actually, we had participated in the research-based science projects that for that we won the awards. In it was project mainly aware the teenagers, healthy teenagers. It was appreciated and also got selected for the district level. So mental health is very important for our students. But in this project, I just want to tell that Dr. Sir also helped us in our project so much so that we could put our best. So mental health is very important for all of our students. As they grow, many changes takes place in their thinking level. So to track their well-being and the future and also the current progress, mental health is very important. So child is going to be tomorrow's citizen. So it's very necessary to pay attention to their mental health along with the physical health. In Marathi, there is one saying, "तरीच जन्मा यावे, दास पालकांचा व्हावे." So I would certainly want to go ahead with the physical health along with the mental health.
Very true. We often realize we cannot change much of the world around us, but we can change ourselves. And the best time to change thought, behavior, action is when you deal with children in school. Teachers are like those gardeners who provide the fertilizer for wonderful growth among children. So, the role of a teacher is very important, and having good teachers in our schools is a blessing for our children. JAYSHREE teacher, you are an inspiration and a role model for others as well. You have always given mental health a priority and you've worked very hard for the success of your students. Recently, you even won an award. I think it was the Kalaratna Award, right? So you have been appreciated in many ways, and we know that every teacher is doing their best, especially at these difficult times. Other teachers here, Rense, Janet, Mithila, are also reaching out in appreciation for you and recognizing the wonderful role of a teacher for the future of our children. Rahul also says it is lovely to hear that such people really exist. Manoj, Vikas, Neha, and Misbah are also saying that teachers are important let's give our appreciation to teachers so that they can bring in the best for our students. देखो, टीचर्स का और बच्चों के साथ उनका नाता, इसका कितना अहमियत होता है, और अच्छे टीचर को अप्रिशिएट करना हमारा फर्ज ही तो बनता है. We make sure as the year ends, we express our appreciation to all the teachers around us, especially during these COVID times, which have been difficult, and teachers have stood the test of time. We pray for their good health of mind and body, because they do so much for our children, and the future, not only of our country, but of this entire world, depends on the goodness of the teachers and what they do for our students. Thank you very much, JAYSHREE teacher, for being a part here. And this is a wonderful slide which has you with your awards, receiving your awards, even being at Inspiration. You also won the best mantra award for New Year resolution of a teacher, mental health mantra that was there. So congratulations to you for that. Also, Jate Jate, what would be your message for our audience tuning in today?
Yes, doctor. Few tips I can tell to the students for the success as such. Keep motivating yourself with positivity. Don't get disheartened with failures. Think you can and you will. Believe in the universe who is watching, the supreme energy which we call it as a God, and then the obviously success is yours.
In a very simple way, you have told us things that are important: a positive outlook, spiritual nourishment. Ye bhi zaruri hai. Like we say, begin your day with the thanks to God and end your day with the thanks to God. Yes, all these small little things can make a big difference. And that is why Dr. Manali, Seidel, Archana are also appreciating these little secrets of your success that you've shared with us. Thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you for joining us as a guest on this episode of Mann Darpan. We are sure people will put into practice the simple things that you've talked about and enrich their own lives as well. Thank you once again. Yes. Now we move on to our next guest, who is also a very creative personality, blessed with loads of talent, but is still a very humble person at heart. So I am happy to welcome on board Savio Mascarenhas, a good friend of the family and a person I always look up to who has amazing talent. Savio is the group art director of Amar Chitra Katha, and he's also been a TEDx speaker. Let's share a little conversation with you. Welcome again, Savio. We are happy to have you here.
Hi, Fabian. Good evening. Nice to meet you.
Yes, Savio, for people like me, Tinkle and Amar Chitrakatha, these have been books that we've grown up with. We've enjoyed, we've received them as gifts for our birthday parties in those days. We would give them as gifts. So much of color, so much of creativity. Uh, Tell us about your association with Tinkle and Amar Chitrakatha. How did it come about?
Like every kid growing up in the 80s, I was a huge fan of Tinkle and Amar Katha because these were the only books that were around for us to read. And so, reading, like you have also mentioned earlier, was a habit. Reading the newspaper was my dad's uh, thing. Like, every morning you need to read the newspaper. And so that started off my interest in comics as such. I grew up reading characters like Shikari Shambhu and Supandi. And what I used to do is I used to draw these characters, scribble them on my notebooks, drawing books, wherever I found a blank space. So even my friends' notebooks in school. So I had an initial interest in drawing as such, but I never pursued it as a career. But later on, after I finished my advertising and public relations, and I was working as a copywriter in an ad agency, I happened to see an ad in a newspaper which asked for an artist for Tinkle comics, and I was very happy because Tinkle, I grew up reading Tinkle, and I was like very excited. I said, "Okay, let me just try." So I went to the office and I showed my little sketches, little drawings that I had, and at that time, the editor, Mr. Anant Pai, saw the drawings and said, "These drawings are good. So why can't you work for us as a freelance?" So I started working as a freelance cartoonist for a couple of years, and that encouraged me a lot. And I realized that I used to work as a copywriter in an ad agency and freelance as an artist. And that's when I realized that, my real passion, my real love, my real interests were in the drawings that I was doing for Tinkle. And then I made a decision in my career. I left advertising and got into comics. And that started off way back in 1994. So it's been a long journey for me.
That's a long journey, and then we can see the right dash of love, luck, and life mixing together to give you the best thing that was possible. Truly amazing. Well, and nowadays people are looking up at doodling, at mandala art, uh, even if they are not really artists by hand. They are doing it to de-stress themselves. They are doing it to feel happy, and I think this means a lot. In fact, we would like you to enlighten us about how important is fantasy, imagination, and creativity for every child in context.
Yeah. Most of the sessions that I do with children, I ask them, how much do you see things around you? When we walk outside, we look at things, but do we really observe things? And a lot of kids come up with some brilliant explanations about what they have seen in the market or what they have seen around them. But unfortunately, a lot of people also move on the device and they don't really have time to look around. And I guess when as a child, if you stop doing this, if you stop observing things around you, if you don't look at things around you, if you don't understand the beautiful things that are happening in your world, you may not be able to increase your imagination. You may not be able to apply anything in terms of creativity. So I always tell kids, like, imagination is always connected to what you look at around you, what you read. So the more you read, these are the two things that I always tell kids, is like read as much as you can, because reading opens up a lot of windows of imagination. Look at us, look at a lot of things around you. Be a very observant child. So that is going to help you, not as an artist, but just as a general human being who's very much aware of the things around you, the birds, the trees, there's so much, the people around you. If you go to a market, you'll find fantastic things to see, like, different emotions that you see. Look at the people around the shops, everything. And all this just helps you to have a vibrant imagination. That is what one thing that I would always tell kids to do.
आई थिंक देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस इन दैट और आते जाते अगर हम हमारे नजरिया को भी बहलाते हैं वी एंजॉय दोज sequences and scenes around us, it can fuel our imagination and creativity so much. uh, Take time to pause, take time to look and stare. In fact, it was that beautiful poem that we had in school, Leisure by W.H. Davies, I think, that says, what is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. No? वक्त
Exactly.
बनाइए और देखते रहिए कभी खिड़की के बाहर अपना विंडो के बाहर देखो क्या होते जा रहा है. Observe and let us teach our children also the beautiful power of observation. It also brings a little calmness into our life. We can press that pause button amongst all the chaos that otherwise we have in our stereotypical routines, morning, noon, and night. Well, having said that, and all the characters that you sketch, old ones, new ones, constantly with your creativity and your imagination, would it be fair to ask you, do you have any favorites? Which character is closest to your heart and why?
Okay. So, Shikari Shambhu is one of the characters that I started sketching, grew up reading Shikari Shambhu. And ये जो character है, he's very much like, he goes out in the forest. Well, he doesn't like to go out there. He's scared of animals, but he will always rescue animals when they are in danger. So we call him Shikari, but वो शिकारी नहीं है. वो सिर्फ जंगल में, he's got a title as a Shikari, and that's in some story where he rescued some people from a leopard. But as this character is, the love for animals is something which I really connect to a lot. I'm a huge animal lover. I love dogs, cats, and I mean, I just like to, like, so Shikari Shambhu is very close to me in that sense when it comes to the characters that I draw, because through Shikari Shambhus, I can tell you a lot of stories about the animals and the birds of different countries. Uh, During the pandemic in 2020, when we were all at home, and of course we couldn't travel, but Shikari Shambhu traveled. He went all around the world. He went to different countries. So हमने जो stories डाले टिंकल में, उस हर एक स्टोरी में शिकारी शंभू कभी जापान गए हैं, कभी ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए हैं, कभी न्यूजीलैंड गए हैं, he's gone to South America. And what we have tried to do is, through these stories, talk to the children about the animals and the birds that are there in these countries. So I really treasure this character a lot, and I really love doing this character. I've been drawing Shikari Shamu for the past almost 30 years now. So
Yes.
for me, it is like a part of me. Like, sometimes, you become the character. Sometimes I feel I'm just like one Shikari Shambhu out there to make children happy with the stories.
Yes, I think there's a comical appeal about Shikari Shambhu uh, being at the wrong places at the right time or something like that. But it's always entertaining and it's always something to learn from each story. And as you said, animals need our love and attention too. The COVID was a difficult time for animals, our stray dogs and stray cats that are there. And a lot of people went out of their way to reach out and to see that they could feed such animals. I think being sensitive towards animals around also increases our sensitivity towards mental health and care, and increases and enhances that human touch, that human factor amongst us. So, teaching children again to be sensitive towards animals and to care for them is something that will go a long way in shaping a good personality of a person also. And that is why Nushaz, Kaushal, Dr. Sneha, they also are recollecting their Tinkle days and Amar Chitra Katha, which has been an inseparable part of them. Well, with all of this, you have also had the privilege of being a TEDx speaker, and there's much said about what you've talked and the message that you've given. It will be nice if you share something on that light for us.
Yeah. So the main crux of my conversation was VAL, which is called Visual Art Learning, and I've spoken about this subject because everything that we look at today, everything that we learn through today, visuals play a very very important role. And going back to the caveman, that's where it all starts. When stories were told through visuals, drawings were a very important part of their lives. They sketched out whatever they did. And if you look at different civilizations, it has gone through the Egyptian civilization or the Mayan or any other civilizations. Visuals have played that very important role. This was much before the language came in. So my conversation in the TEDx talks were about how do you use visuals effectively in your communication skills. Learning, which is very important today, when you look at kids learning in school, uh, I explained to them, like, when you put in visuals along with your textbooks, I think the learning becomes better. Add as much as visuals as you can in your teaching syllabus. This is one advice I usually speak to a lot of teachers about. Like, that, and the more you talk to kids with the medium of visuals, or putting them together with their textbooks. I know a lot of kids say, like, there's a lot of text in my textbook. There's so much of text, and they find it boring. So if you club visuals along with your text, I guess that would just enhance uh, learning a lot more. Children remember a lot. Even we usually remember a lot if we see it visually. Words sometimes may tend to forget, but visuals, I don't think we would really forget. That stays with us for a very long time. And that is what the crux of my conversation is. It's called visual art learning. And I try to promote this as much as I can in whichever platform I'm invited to speak about including visuals in communications. Make it an integral part. And it's not only for kids, it can be for anyone. Like, it could be for teachers, for doctors, for professionals across. We all work on PPT presentations. And we put in visuals as much as we can because that simplifies the idea. So visuals are here to stay. Visuals have been around and visuals will always be a part of our life.
Right, bang on. I think even as psychiatrists, we mentioned that when you see something, it's hard to forget. And therefore, probably the impact of a movie lasts longer with us rather than reading a book. So, visuals are important. And if the book has great visuals, then it will stay on for sure. It's important for us to understand this concept that is there. Some beautiful things that are visuals that will stay on with us. So, visual art learning is important, and we can enhance that sort of learning with diagrams, mind maps, and so much more. It's a point well taken for parents, teachers, and students all watching in. And well, it's Christmas round the corner. Bells are ringing, and it's going to be Merry Christmas very soon that we'll be saying to each other. This Christmas Eve, it's worth asking you, Savio, what does Christmas mean to you?
Christmas means family for me, and you can see right behind there. I've got my guitar all tuned up. I don't play professionally and I don't play really well, but I play good enough for the family to have a good time. We are an extended family. We are all staying in Kalyan, and we all meet up for Christmas. We share our meals, we sing songs. So for me, Christmas means family time.
ट्रू, ये सेलिब्रेशंस त्योहारों का ये जो खासियत यही है कि हम सब मिल जाए, परिवार एकजुट हो जाए और बनाइए बढ़िया यादें जो है. We make wonderful memories that will stay on even when these times have passed through, and we can live and always revisit those memories that are happy for us. Well, let's also look at a visual with your collage that we have, a few pictures of you in action on the slide. Yes, that's you in action and your artwork, and of course Shikari Shambhu also there, and I think that's Supandi. uh,
Yeah, that's super super. That's a
Super
version of.
Supandi. Super Supandi, taking art to the next level and influencing children in their workshops and art workshops. Savio is doing a lot of good work, and we are so proud of the work that you do, Savio. Visual art learning is a message we take home today. Let us also have a message from you. What would you like to say for those watching in today?
I would say just be happy with whatever we have, and skills, talents, all of this are inborn things that we all have. I never realized that I would be an artist to begin with. I like every child, we all go doing what others are doing, but just listen to your heart. I would tell this sincerely to everyone out there. Listen to what your heart tells you to do, and sometimes you would get that answer to what your passions are, what you really want to do in life, rather than listening to the others telling you do this and do that. I would tell this to everyone today that I have been very fortunate to have listened to what my heart told me to do at the age of 24. And that's when I shifted my career and became an artist. And this is an advice for everyone. Listen to what your heart tells you to do, and you'll never go wrong.
Beautiful message there. I think uh, this is the time when especially youngsters, teenagers, post their 10th, post their 12th, can face confusion in what they want for their future. And what our speaker is helping you with is the fact that informed choices are here to stay. And listen to your heart. We remember the three idiots, that shift of gear that happens when you realize that your heart is pining for something else. You went through your commerce education, copywriting, all of that, and then your heart appealed to art, and you've gone places, you've achieved and made a niche for yourself. So I think informed choices are the way forward. If you are confused anytime, students, remember you can always do an aptitude test, but the aptitude test is best done after your 10th standard, not during your preparation for the 10th standard. So parents also relax, don't get worried. In that vacation of the 10th standard, let the students meet more people, meet professionals like Savio and others, and know what it is to go that path ahead and then make those informed choices. Well, we've learned a lot from our speakers. Thank you, Savio, for being with us here today. Let us flash a slide and see what are our take home messages from our speakers today. It was in that lovely play, The Alchemist, that was said that when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. Or closer home, what Shah Rukh Khan says in Om Shanti Om, अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. What it means is the right amount of love, luck, and life learning that shapes our future. Love your dream and follow your passion. Listen to your heart, as our speakers have told you. Luck will sometimes smile on you, sometimes ignore you. It happens, but still go one step at a time forward. Life will teach us so much. Are you willing to learn from life and our experiences and the power of observation that was also told to us? Let us be wise with our choices and our chances. Take informed choices and chances. Involve yourself with social issues as well, social causes, so that we give back to society and we make this world a wonderful place for everyone to stay. That's what we need to leave behind, footprints in the sands of time. And stay strong. But in case we feel weak sometimes, in case emotionally we need help, there is no shame or no stigma in seeking support. Wonderful messages that we've gathered in our conversations from our wonderful guests, JAYSHREE teacher and SAVIO, the art person that has given so much for us to take home today. Moving ahead, in the spirit of Christmas, let us see something that we have talked about Christmas. This is the poem I've written, and I read it out for you. I believe, do you? It goes on. I believe in Christmas. It's a great feeling. Happy smiles I'm stealing. It's the season of cheer. The message is clear. Hope, peace, and joy. It's all here. I believe in Santa Claus, the big fat guy loved by kids, naughty or shy. Magic for all, gifts both big and small. Live and let live, each to the other. Sorry, happiness we must give. I believe in new beginnings. Let go of the past. Look beyond trumpets blast. Good, better, best. We shall stand the test. Live, learn, love, and we shall all rise above. I believe in me, the good and the bad, the happy and sad, the yin and the yang bouncing back with a bang. And if it has to be, yes, it begins with me, me, me. I hope you believe too in these things I've shared with you. Let's live a life good and true, starting afresh, starting anew. Yay, yay, yay. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year too. I believe, do you? We want everyone to believe in all of this, and especially believe in yourself. Well, to our dear guests, we now take this opportunity to inform our audience as well that we have sweet surprises for you. Well, change is the only constant. This is the last episode of Mann Darpan for the year. When we come back in the new year, in January, with the next episode, we will change a few things. Do you have any ideas? Do you have any feedback, suggestions, creative options, something new? We are going to be repackaging our Mann Darpan episodes from January 23. So send us your suggestions, ideas, etc. WhatsApp 908-209-3848, and the lucky ones, the ones that give us something really nice, can win beautiful hampers here by Sugar Aroma. There are lovely cookies, Christmas cookies made from by Sugar Aroma, and wonderful chocolates as well. Chinmay Patare is the guy who heads Sugar Aroma. Lots of choices there. If you need something, WhatsApp us and we'll see that you get there. So sweet surprises coming your way. And also, our online daycare counseling continues. The last sessions for the year on demand is on next week, Tuesday to Friday, 27th to 30th, 4 days, 1 hour each. And we are having an evening batch this time, 7 to 8 p.m. Book your seats in advance. It is to help you manage your stress. It is to help you define your personality and increase your levels of self-awareness and self-discipline. So make sure you take this advantage of our online daycare counseling. We also have our Ouch, as usual, Overthinkers Unlimited Chill Out Help Zone. This is a support group for overthinkers, and we meet every second Sunday of the month. It's an online Zoom session, at 12 o'clock. You need to WhatsApp in advance to register yourself for these sessions. And then today, since it's Christmas Eve, our Insta Live, Bato Bato Mein, that happens on every second and every fourth Saturday, will happen just after the show around 7 o'clock. So get on to our Insta Live, and here today, as we say goodbye 2022 and welcome 2023, you have an opportunity to join us on the Insta Live, share with us something about 2022 and your plans for 2023, and you could win again hampers from Sugar Aroma, Christmas cookies and chocolates. It's gifting time, so spread that Christmas spirit around. And thank you, our guests Savio and JAYSHREE,
Thank you,
teacher, for being here today, for giving us valuable life lessons to take forward, and not without our man behind the scenes, Anirudh. Anirudh, thank you for putting us all in place. We wish you loads of love and luck also as you go ahead to important milestones in your life too. Thank you everyone for joining us on Mann Darpan, and make sure you have a wonderful week ahead. Happy Christmas and a happy new year too. Thank
thank
you.
you.
Take care. God bless.
Happy
Bye
Christmas.
bye.
Happy New Year.